Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. Today I have the pleasure of Professor R. Vaidyanathan. As always, Namaskaram, Professor RV. How are you?
I'm very fine.
And for those of you who don't know what the good professor is doing these days, he is Cho S. Ramaswamy Visiting Chair Professor in the area of public policy at Shastra University. And before that, he was a professor of finance at the Indian Institute of Management in Bengaluru. And Professor, he's also a very published and very reputed author. He's a television personality. He's a much sought after speaker, and it's our boon, it's our good fortune that he likes to come on our channel and share his thoughts. And today's is a very, very profound discussion. I would urge all of you to watch it till the very end, and please do not forget to subscribe and also like by clicking on the notification button. Professor RV, what are we going to talk about today, sir?
Namaskaram first to all the audience, and it's always a pleasure to be part of the P Guru's initiative. And as it was indicated, I would like all of you to subscribe, and our subscription should reach something like 10 million, and over a period of time. And we are into interesting times, and of course, from the US point of view, we are into too much interesting times, because I'm sure after a couple of years, Ayer may ask me to speak in Spanish, not in English. The way the crowds are coming, and our good old friend Harris has been asked to, Kamala Harris has been asked to look into it. Anyhow, interesting times are again, and I am sure now newer areas people are started coming. It used to be earlier Mexico, but now it's much more in terms of Honduras, Uruguay, and I think the entire continent will be slowly coming in, and then maybe why have it North America and South America? Have it only as the State of the Union address by the president will be in Spanish. I'm very confident about it. The way, I remember in the 70s when I visited, it used to be mostly in the southern places, some in California, some in Texas. Recently, when I was there, I find them in deep north. Even in Alaska, even in places northeast, in terms of your, Boston and everywhere, in restaurant, in public places, in supermarkets, and and I was very happy because some of them were extremely difficult, very uncomfortable in English. So I was very, I looked as if I am one of another regular person. Uh, and one person asked me, "How come you are so good in English?" I told, "You look British leftists only in 47, 1947. While as British left this country, something like 100 years before, 100, 200 years before. That's the reason these people have forgotten." Anyhow, be that as it may. Now, today we will focus on a major emerging crisis in the world, and more so in India also, about issue of unemployment. Now, we did mention earlier about the arrival of electric cars, and that's going to create a huge amount of issue in a large number of countries, more so in countries like India, because the automobile network employs huge number of people in terms of pumps. If you go to an average pump, you will find some 10 to 12 people roaming around, and somebody cleaning your car, somebody wanting to put air into it, somebody asking, "Do you want oil lubricant?" So many things. In many of the American pump station, you are encouraged to actually fill up your own thing. You can take the tube, and then if you are not very familiar, then they are not coming anywhere. And payments at time, the credit card can be given. You may find sometimes two, three people only, not more than that, but not in our country. Not only that, there is a huge number of workshops which are catering to the the repair and other. I'm told in a regular car in the current ones, as high as 9,000 things can go wrong. So huge opportunities are there. Service provided by the major manufacturers. More than that, there are local workshops. So both of them is going to be significantly affected with the arrival of electric. And now already Britain is talking of after 2030 there won't be anything. Singapore is telling after 2025 they are not going to permit this petrol and diesel driven. And China, I am given to understand, is some 30 to 40% is already in electric. Northern part of Europe is significantly going into electric. So this is the future. There is no point in weeping about it or anything. One good thing is there may not be much agitation in India about the fuel prices, petrol and diesel prices, and they will be mostly for industrial use and other things. Anyhow, so my estimate is anywhere between 80 lakhs to 100 lakh would get redundant because of the arrival of new technology. Second is the solar. There's a huge amount of solar network is coming up. Not only that, residential buildings, apartments are mounting solar on top, and most of it is currently used. And as usual, many of the electricity boards are, uncomfortable. Some of them say that you can use it for common purposes, not for individual homes. It's a relationship between the, the apartment people and the what you may call Lord Surya. Why should these fellows in between come at all? I don't know. I do not understand. And if you have surplus, you can sell it to the electricity boards also at a price which is fixed by the electricity board. Anyhow, this whole thing is the inability of the government to understand and the development which is taking place. I'm sure in a couple of years that will go, and EB will only be catering to maybe big industries. Even there, many of them are setting up their own solar facilities, and so that is going to create a huge amount of disruption and unemployment in terms of the standard thing like lineman coming and then trying to rectify and all that, and then the inverter industry is going to be severely affected. In India, inverter is one of the major industries. Incidentally, they thrive on the power shortage. So, if there is no power shortage, obviously there won't be any need for this business. But every middle class household would have fixed already one inverter. That is also going to be affected. So, my estimate is something like 3 to 4 million will be affected from that point of view. The third is the delivery system. Already retail stores are disrupted. Significant amount of delivery is slowly coming through the this Amazon, Flipkart, and various other type. Proportion is relatively small even today. But many places, what is happening is what we call Kirana stores, what in the US jargon is called mom and pop store. They are getting converted into retail redistribution centers. In other words, primarily they are becoming inventorying places. So there the inventory is kept, and then these delivery taking place. And there are already steps taken. I am told in US in some localities to use drones to deliver. Whether it is going to be successful or not will be known. And some places in Europe already they are doing it. In apartment building, the drones come and drop it. And people go and pick up whatever they have ordered for and other things. So this drone delivery system is also, and that will completely change the way in which we are functioning in India. In terms of that fellow comes in scooter or motorcycle and unbelievable speed because he has to reach the customer within a specific period of time, then he will get some incentive and other thing. They say 30 minutes we will deliver, otherwise you take the coke free, like that, another all that scheme, everything will. So already some of these people are telling they are employing of the order of 100,000, 1 lakh of these people, each one of them, this Swiggy, Zomato, and plus Amazon. If you put all of them together, they are all telling a target of 10 to 15 lakh will be for the next 5 years. But if this drone technology gets really, then we have the artificial intelligence, which is creating a havoc in the manufacturing sector as well as in what are called the routine type of work. there is a AI-based system which will help the chartered accounting profession like anything. It will do in a matter of few seconds what is currently being done in a matter of days by a group of chartered accountants. It is able to get into the thing and find out. These are mostly routine work in terms of reconciliation, in terms of finding out where does the fault lies. Similarly, in the legal profession, huge number of people are now poring over old legal books to find out what was the earlier judgment and what is that, and then provide it to their legal counsel. This whole thing can be done by AI-driven, the computerized system, which will take hardly couple of hours, not even days. So most of the routine jobs, which are like your already there are what you call driverless trains. Even in India, couple of places the electric local trains are run without any driver, and there is a massive effort in order to create a driverless trains. Then the chauffeur, then the restaurants, those who come and serve you, huge number of labor will be out of position
Redundant. Yeah.
completely. It's going to be a tectonic change which is taking place, and humanity will adjust. Obviously, when railways came, there that was one of the major tectonic change. Then this engine was discovered, steam engine. That was a major tectonic change. Then you have the all this manufacturing of cloth and other thing came, and the entire belt of this spinning and weaving and other thing got altered. Then we have, for instance, a simple example. My grandmother's kitchen was full of clay, uh, bamboo, as well as some stainless steel vessels. Otherwise, full of pittal, brass, and other type of. Go to my daughter's kitchen. All of them are hydrocarbon, ceramic, glass, and various. Some of those metallic items have come into the drawing room. My grandma's filter is now an artifact. It's kept. My son was joking. Maybe after 50 years we can go to Sudhai's auction and give this coffee filter for auction. There could be a huge amount of demand for this type of filters. Like I used to have one dialing type of telephone. Some of you might have seen it. I do not know. You have to circle the numbers 1 2 1 2 3 4 0 like that, and every number you have to circle, and half of the time it will get stuck at one place only. But it was a very black color, and I do not know, by chance I got one black colored one with a golden type of a ribbon around this the rotating place. Anyhow, so I wanted to return it. Somebody told, don't keep it with you. After some 20 years, this could be a very valued item as a artifact. Point is, change is something which. So what has happened to all those people like Pittal and Brass and other makers? So they have all become redundant. Nobody even gives a thought to them and other things. But when there is a massive change, what is called tectonic change, it will create a huge amount of impact on ordinary people's lives, particularly those who are in their 40 to 60 age, because their ability to relearn something new is also relatively lesser, and they are used to one type of activity. If I am a retail sales fellow sitting in a shop and selling things, suddenly if I go redundant, and my ability to learn new things are relatively low. So there is going to be a huge pressure in terms of employment. In our country, my hunch is roughly 40% of the non-farm labor already available. Something like they say the workforce is 450 to 500 million. 40% is a very large number. So what will happen is, kindly note, we are, one likes it or not, a democratic country, which means one person, one vote. And most of the time, the lowest common denominator decide who should be ruling you or anything. You cannot You cannot argue, or there is no point. Unlike systems like US, where the elite developed their own mechanism to run the show, the commoners also were given to understand you participate, but not destabilizing the system. That used to be at least a decade before what I loosely call Republican Democrat and Democratic Republican. They used to be more in terms of cohort or something, and the commoners used to highly regard the elites, that these are the people who know things, and they will decide for the good of US or good of us. Good of the elite is considered as good of US. But in India, it is not necessarily the case. I have already explained in several times. The family of 20 groups in India control the political space, including the Congress party. We have the Sheikh Abdullah party. We have the every party. One family controls actually. Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. You take any, there is no. The only two groups which are not controlled explicitly by families are BJP as well as the Communist. These are the two groups which are not family controlled. Otherwise, in BJP also, in some local level, you can always say the father and son are involved, but not at the national level, and you cannot accuse anyone as controlling the party. So the family of 20 uses the fault lines. We have huge number of fault lines in India, language-based, caste-based, region-based. And so these fault lines are extensively used. And in the context of the massive tectonic changes, I am telling you, there will be huge amount of pressure for reservation in available opportunities. Whether it is capability or not, whether AI can be adequately used by these people or not, are all because we have a huge labor force of educated, unemployable, I call them, not unemployed, unemployable actually, because they are all given just a pass. We have a gradeflation in almost all the universities where nobody wants to fail somebody. So just because and these diversity gangs are also very active. They want diversity, as in the US. I jokingly say the best way for you to get a position is you should be a black, and you should be a lesbian, and you should be a person with physical disabilities. So black, lesbian, physical disability, that is handicapped or something like that, and you also come from relatively a poorer background, who has worked hard and other thing, who claim. So this will give you a outstanding rating in terms of diversity. But these are called imposed or artificially created diversities. They are not going to help. You can't create diversity in order to run a system, diversified system. For instance, you can't put six fellows who are, one is a black, one is a LGBTQ, one is a disabled person inside the cockpit and say run the plane. That's not possible. It's very, very difficult. It's a so that forced diversity is not going to help. We have natural diversity. Our caste system, for instance, is extremely representative of the natural diversity. Different cultures, different type of doing things, and acceptance across the board. So, the huge amount of tectonic changes will create a massive problem of employment. And the massive problem of employment, there will be a clamor for reservation on various counts, caste basis. Some places they will say the local, already there are, in some places they are telling 75% should be for locals, up to 50,000 rupee another. Then there will be more clamor for employment into private sector, reservation in so all these pressures will build because of the shrinking opportunities for getting job. Unless explicitly it is agreed that 40% or 50% of the people will be working, the remaining 40 or 50% of the people will be provided gratis, in the sense of direct benefit transfer or something. They can have some food and drink and sleep. That's all. This type of an arrangement is not very easy. So they will also like to be. So for instance, a demand for reservation in private sector, in judiciary, and all this will increase like anything. So let me again repeat, the tectonic change can be met provided the capable people decide to get into activities locations. So Iyer was jokingly telling where the island type of an idea is appealing. I told Japan is emerging as one of the island which is available. There is a study I was reading recently. Another 40, 50 years at the rate at which they are declining, half of Japan will become empty unless they encourage outsiders to enter. So unless there is one, what you may loosely call the liberal Kamala Harris type in US emerging in Japan, which is very, very difficult because for the last so many decades, Japan has resisted any type of migration. Anyhow, now they are also thinking in terms of introducing work permit, a green card, and other. So that is the one good area which we can think about where relatively the culture of Indians are lot of commonality in Japan actually. They have enormous amount of respect for elders. This is something very, very interesting. In spite of technological improvement and other things, it's a very, very traditional society. So one place is available. It's not that it's not available. But we have to be very clear, as long as we have democratic system, significant fault lines and tectonic changes in technology in terms of amount of changes which are going to come in the next 10, 20 years is going to be unbelievable actually. And we should be in a position to plan properly and at the same time derive the full benefit out of the changes which are coming. Not that we cannot deal with it. And there is no point in pandering to the lowest common denominator within the country. That is not going to help actually because they are not enthusiastic or interested in dealing with the issues of technology. They are much more interested in increasing the cleavage of the fault lines in order to get into positions of power and accumulate wealth, what you mean, ill-gotten wealth. That is their primary purpose. So options are available. It's up to the enlightened section of citizens of our country to think about this. What is the nature of the future?
Thank you very much, Professor RV. A lot of food for thought, and it's a different way in which you are asking people to look at life. And it is inevitable that a lot of automation is going to come into our lifestyles. I just wanted to add to what you said about electricity companies complaining about people using their own electric supply. The way I have mine, sir, I have a solar panel on my roof, and that solar panel has an inverter that syncs up with my general power. So it is like an auxiliary power unit that adds to what I'm getting from the outside. There are times when I'm actually producing more than what I need.
Okay.
In other words, I don't have to pay anything to the electric company, and they are not happy about that. So what they did was
able to take power from you.
Yeah, I can. The thing is bidirectional. It can flow out also. Yes. So
Okay.
yeah, so we were getting credit. So what used to happen is that there were months when I would owe negative amount of money to the electric company. Negative.
Right.
So that would get adjusted in the next month and so on.
Correct.
But then the gas and electric company declared bankruptcy 2 years ago. Now what happens is
not making any revenue.
Yeah. So now what has happened is they have come to some sort of a settlement whereby they say you just like you pay pre-tax ahead of time what your estimated tax is. They want us to pay our electricity bill of the consumption before we consume. So I'm now being asked to pay upfront in January month a big amount, and after that
advances. Okay.
Advance. So it's front loading, and then I don't have to pay after that usually.
Okay.
So, but one
flow is not impacted. Okay.
Right. But sir, one thing that might happen is as more electric vehicles and other things come, you will have other kind of sectors that will start. For example, you see what will happen is at some point standards will evolve where you can take a rechargeable battery, which will be like a big brick. You take it out and put another one and then go. So the petrol bunk will be used for these kind of replacement devices where they'll have 10 always readily charged. They'll take one from you, they'll give you a like replacement, and then for
Right.
that you have to pay some money, because they're charging it for you and all that stuff, and then you
Correct.
go on. So these kind of things will come. You'll also need a lot more electrical knowledge people, because essentially the car, I have a few electric vehicles, sir. These are glorified computers on wheels.
Correct.
And when the
I agree
computer,
with you. But the replacement numbers would, according to me, would be relatively much lesser
oh yes, oh
compared
yes,
to
a lot less, a lot less.
what is going to happen, right?
Yeah,
Anyhow,
but
interesting
yeah.
times are ahead,
Yes,
right?
absolutely, absolutely. So we'll see how it plays out. But viewers, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like our program. And Professor RV and I would like to come back and share with you a few more things on the future of the humanity in general and how it applies to India. Remember that India is creating 1.25 maybe Australia's every day now. So it's a big number. Thank you very much, sir, and namaskar.
Namaskar.